at the studio of the St James Theatre. Ben, welcome to London.
Thank you.
You've got a good name.
Thank you.
Is this a stage name?
Oh no, it's straight legit.
Ben Rimalower.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ben Rimalower, how did you start your career?
Well, I always wanted to be a director as a child, and after college, I interned and was an assistant director for many years, and then moved on to directing my own projects for many years, and ultimately decided to write and perform instead.
So Ben is here at the studio to perform a double bill of two of your shows together.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hoot of a show. Fun.
I
That's fun
think it's
in
a hoot.
English.
I enjoy it.
Okay, so you can say hoot in America?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
yeah.
Patti
Issues, yeah.
And Bad With Money.
Bad With Money.
So these are two shows that you normally do separately, but in this incarnation,
Yeah.
in this season, you're doing them together. Mm-hmm. Have you done that before?
Yeah.
They sound like fun.
One is funner than the other.
Okay, you'll have to wait till you come to know which
Yeah,
one's which.
exactly.
But, so is this something you're going to do forever more? Are you going to be a performer who writes and...
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you wouldn't go back to directing other
No, I
stuff?
would. I mean, everybody really wants to direct. For me, directing feels like so much anxiety. Managing all those personalities. I'm a sober person. I'm an alcoholic, recovering alcoholic, and when I got sober, the first thing I realized was the directing is awful. And writing used to seem awful to me because it was being tranquil, alone, open to my thoughts, and that was torture because I was constantly escaping them. And then without alcohol, I found rehearsals unbearable with a cast, so it's been a flip for me.
Or too long.
Yeah, wow. 5 minutes is too long.
Too much time together.
Yeah, I like to be the worst behaved member of my production.
Right. Moving right along, Patti Issues is
Yeah.
about Patti LuPone.
Yes, it is.
And tell me, you've got a backstory with Patti LuPone.
Yes, I do. Well, as an assistant director,
Yeah.
one of the first shows I worked on was Sweeney Todd with the New York Philharmonic with Patti LuPone and George Hearn and Audra McDonald,
Yes.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Shame
Excuse me, I just dropped a couple names.
I was going to say, it's a shame you didn't have some good cast to work with.
Well, of course, I was most excited. I was going to lie and say I was most excited to work with Stephen Sondheim, but I was most excited to work with Patti LuPone.
And Audra McDonald.
Yeah, but I'm obsessed with Patti all my life. I mean, Patti is my goddess. You know.
Is this something your family knew about?
Oh yeah, I mean it's to a fault. I'm obsessed with Patti LuPone, and getting to know her well personally only increased it, and we became quite good friends because as a gay man who's obsessed with her, I'm Patti's kind of guy, and so then the show charts that relationship, which was not always smooth sailing. There were some issues, as the title suggests, and Patti is known for.
Did she come to see you?
Oh yeah, both shows, and been very supportive. But along the way in our relationship, about 10 years ago, there was some drama, there were some lawyers, and so the show charts that, but in sort of in contrast to my relationship with my father.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm just thinking I'd love to be a fly on the wall to hear some of those conversations
Well,
between the lawyers.
if you see the show, you'll hear all the conversations.
Okay.
I do them all. But my father's a gay man who's mentally imbalanced. And it's a play, the title's a play on daddy issues and Patti Issues. Although the comedian Jackie Hoffman said I should have called it Daddy LuPone. But I didn't. And so basically what I felt honestly in life and what I found writing the show is that my experience with Patti, coming to know her not just as this goddess floating above my CD player in high school, but as a human being with her own agenda and feelings and issues, and accepting her as that and getting to relate to her that way was a sort of maturing process that helped me in my relationship with my father. So the show is sort of about that. And then Bad With Money is just about me being a train wreck. It's about how I gave up alcohol and drugs,
Right.
no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I spend money like it's the most exciting thing in the world to me.
Patti LuPone is a great. She's a great in the theatre.
Great.
Yeah. What's more impressive, to get up close as a friend that sees her in the quiet moments, or is it getting up close and witnessing her as a performer?
Performer. I mean, as a friend, Patti's personality is so larger than life and thrilling, and I talk about...
Gregarious? Is she?
Absolutely. I mean, she's such a good time girl,
Right.
you know. I don't, you know, she has this somewhat reputation of being this, like, kind of bitch, you know, which is true in the sense that you do not want to be on the business end of a Patti LuPone tirade. I mean, there's a reason she's excelled as Eva Peron and Mrs. Lovett and, you know, Mama Rose. I mean, she's a force of nature, and it can be not pretty. But she's the most warm, open-hearted, down-to-earth person, and, you know, she just has no filter. That said, nothing compares with the thrill of seeing Patti LuPone on stage. I mean, there's an intensity and a focus that is in a class all by itself.
We've just had a production of Gypsy with Imelda Staunton. Did you know about this?
Yes, I'm aware.
I've always thought my perfect casting would be La Pone.
Yes. Well, you thought right.
La Lupone.
La Lupone.
I would have loved to have seen. She's done it.
Patti.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I saw her do it, let's see, 3 times at the Ravinia Festival in Chicago, 4 times at City Center Encores, and then 10 times on Broadway.
And were you interested to see Imelda?
Yeah, I'll watch the video.
Yeah.
You know,
because it's going to be on digital theatre.
yeah, I'm frustrated because the Patti LuPone production was supposed to come... Actually, the way it all began was that Sam Mendes saw Patti LuPone in Masterclass in London, and he wanted to direct Patti in Gypsy. His production was supposed to begin in London and then go to Broadway. And then, through various happenings, they decided to begin on Broadway, not London, and Arthur Lawrence refused permission for Patti to play the role because they had some previous beef.
Right.
So then Sam cast Bernadette. That production was problematic. It did not go to London. Then Patti and Arthur mended ways, and she finally got to do Gypsy, this time directed by Arthur, and it was this huge success. And that should have come to London, and I think because it was the economic crisis of 2008,
Lots
it did
of things
not.
changed, yeah.
And Gypsy hadn't been seen in London since Angela Lansbury in the 70s. You know, Julia Mackenzie never did it. And, well, she might have done it in stock. I don't know. But bitch, I don't know your life. But she never did it, you know, in the West End. And it would have been really wonderful for Patti to do it. I was really sad that she didn't have that, and that London didn't have that. And Imelda Staunton is brilliant.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm wondering whether there's any chance that it would go to New York. How do you think the New Yorkers would feel about it?
You know, if you ask some people in the theater in New York, is that coming in? They go, yeah, that's coming in. Of course it's coming in.
Yeah.
And some people say, no, we just had Gypsy. It's not coming in. So, you know, and it's a matter of, look, the Bernadette Gypsy lost money. The Patti Gypsy lost money. As homosexuals, it's hard for us to understand that that's not commercial.
Yes.
But it's not.
No.
So if somebody wants to spend a few $1 million to bring Imelda in for a limited run and lose some money, it'll happen because it'll be brilliant and everyone who's smart in the theater and gay will see it and love it. But it's never going to be Mamma Mia.
Talking about, you know, travelling shows, this is your very first time in London.
Performing, yeah.
Performing, yeah. Are you
Yeah.
excited?
Oh my God, am I excited?
Are you prepared?
I am prepared. I've been
Yeah.
doing the show now for, almost 4 years.
And
all over the world.
And you're here in the studio at the St. James Theatre. Isn't it fantastic?
Fantastic. I mean, I don't know whether they can see in the camera. I mean, I don't know if it...
If you haven't been to the studio,
Yeah.
it's such a great space for an intimate production.
Oh, I could not be happier.
Yeah.
Ideal.
You don't find spaces like this
No,
in
in
any
the world.
city. No.
They're rare.
Yeah.
There's big theaters and then there's little, you know...
Holes in the wall.
Holes in the wall.
Yeah, yeah. What's next for you?
Well, I have more gigs coming up, you know, with these shows. And I'm writing some things. I'm writing a children's musical. And I'm acting in a play called The Night Elaine Stritch Died. Which is sort of like I would say a gay who's afraid of Virginia Woolf. But
Have you seen that
a
documentary?
gayer, of course. Yeah, I'm in it.
Are you?
Yeah, there's a sequence at the Carlisle where there's 3 homos talking and I'm one of them at the table, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with your performance this
Thank you.
weekend. There's a couple of shows, and going forward, we watch with interest, and I hope you knock them dead.
Thank you so much, John.